Hi! So, Merry Christmas Eve, but regardless of that, we've got work to do. It is AEW Dynamite tonight. It's still Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Dynamite 34th Street, and it's the last week of the Continental Classic, and if you don't know, things are tight in the Gold League, so let's get into it. Stacked Dynamite to go through and predict and stuff. So, following the tag team 8-women tag match last week between the Timeless Love Bombs and the Babes of Wrath versus Mercedes, Athena, Megan Bayne, and Marina Shafir, we have a 1v1 match in Mina Shirakawa versus Marina Shafir. This match, I think, I don't know if they'll set up a tag match on World's End, because World's End is this weekend, but I think this could be a solid match. I feel like Mina Shirakawa and Marina Shafir have both had stellar years, really big years, especially Marina. But just in general, I think Marina's brutality and just hitting ring has just improved drastically because she's actually having women's 1v1 matches now. But also, Mina Shirakawa is just so agile. She's so good, and she's just... Mina Shirakawa just feels like she can just zip round the ring. Similar to how Rio is in a way, but not as Rio throws all her weight into it. Mina seems a little more sturdy. It's weird. I think this match will be great. I'm a big fan of both women. I think Marina Shafir wins it. I feel like with me, a lot of times with Marina Shafir, I feel like you got to protect her just because the whole character is being just this unstoppable unit, essentially. So to kind of have her lose to... Not that Mina Shirakawa is someone like you shouldn't be, it's embarrassing to lose to, whatever, God no. But it's, personally, I think she should be winning Marina Shafir. And maybe it sets up Tony versus Marina, Tony versus Megan rematch. That could be cool. Or possibly their tag match, and you could have two women's tag matches on World's End. But maybe not. That could be fun, though. I'm looking forward to this. So next on our card, which I'm surprised it's this low down, is the Dynamite Diamond Ring final match between Ricochet and Bandido. This match is going to tear the house down. There's one of the reasons I've not done my match of the years and stuff videos yet is because of matches like this. I feel like obviously the C2 is such a big thing, but towards the end of the year, there's years not done, and this is a sleeper match of the year. Ricochet's just so consistent, so good, everything about the guy. And then Bandido's already one of the wrestlers of the year anyway. So the match is going to cook. I feel like I'm still confused on what happens. I don't know if the winner of this match gets the ring, or the winner of this match gets to face MJF for the ring. I don't really know what we're doing with it. But just as a 1v1 match, again, I think it'll be phenomenal. I think we'll get some old school, high-flying, ridiculous stuff. Maybe you have Brody King on outside with the Gates of Agony. That could be fun. I'm always a fan of that. But I think, unfortunately, I feel like the Dynamite Diamond Ring is just a heel gimmick. And it doesn't fit someone like Bandido. It fits someone like a Ricochet. That's what my thought process is going to. So I think Ricochet will win. But it feels weird for the Dynamite Diamond Ring to be in anyone's hands but MJF. I feel like the only guy that makes sense for it to be that's in AEW now, besides MJF, is Ricochet. So that's the avenue I'm going with. I think Ricochet will win it. However, you never count Bandido out. If Bandido can win something, always never doubt the guy. So good. The match, this, with how stacked this Dynamite is, this is my most anticipated match of the night. And that's saying something, because if you know me, there's a certain match on this card that I cannot wait. After this, we have an advertisement for MJF in action. Now, we don't know if... I don't know if this is going to be a promo segment, a squash match, whatever. In action makes me think it is going to be a squash match or something. I don't know how you do it because of the four-way. It feels like he's got to have someone who's linked to either Hangman, Swerve, or Joe. Part of me thinks it would be someone from the Ops, maybe a Hook. But I doubt they're going to do that as a squash match. I feel like they're going to try and keep away from that. I feel like that would be advertised. Swerve and Nana, they're kind of it, like the Mogul Embassy kind of just dispersed, especially with GOA. And then Hangman, maybe you go down the Dark Order route again, kind of what we've been looking back on with Brian, through his run recently. So maybe you give, MJF one of the Dark Order. Maybe you give him like a John Silver, an Evil Uno, something like that. But That could work. I feel like that could work. But either way, it could just be a nameless guy, whatever. It could just be a squash match, or it just could be a promo. Who cares? It's MJF. He's gonna have a good match. He's gonna have a good promo segment. And I assume we get some sort of, interference or call out via Joe, Hangman, or Swerve. That, I feel like that makes sense. You got to remember, World's End is the weekend, so you got a lot of build for that. But MJF, always happy to see him. And yeah, I'll talk about what I think is going to happen at World's End in a separate video, but I'm a big MJF guy. After that, on our little advertisement card thing, which is all confirmed for once, we have Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter going face-to-face in an interview. Last time they done this, it was with the Babes of Wrath and Talma Slaughter. Before their match, it was backstage with Shivani, like a vignette. This could be interesting. I feel like we'll get a really good segment. Jamie Hayter's a great pro, so Stat now. So, not really much to say. I feel like we've kind of got a good build going with this. So, I just feel like it'll be one of them. No real, I don't think there'll be an attack or anything. I think it'll be like a civil, tense promo. I hope there's some good lines in there, obviously, but I'm excited for the match anyway. So there's there's little we can do to improve it even more. And Stat and Jamie, I mean, two of the best women in the entire roster, debatably the world. And yeah, should be a great segment again. Jamie Hayter and Statlander, I adore. So obviously looking forward to it. Now, we have our 3 Continental Classic matches for the night. Our first one is the Me match. It's in the Blue League with Roderick Strong facing Mascara Dorada. Now, Roddy Strong's the only person in the entire C2 now on 0 points. It's the last week of the match. I don't know if he's got a match on Collision, but I think personally, and it breaks my heart to say this, I think Roddy wins and Dorada loses. I hope to every god, the deity, whatever, I am wrong. I don't want that to happen. I really don't. You all know I love Dorada. I think Roddy wins. I think they're not going to have Roddy stay on 0 points. If they have Roddy stay on 0 points, because I think his other match he's got left is Castagnoli, and there's no way he wins against Castagnoli. No way. So I feel like, well, he's got to face Castagnoli on Collision, yeah. So he's got a Collision match. I feel like he wins against Dorada. I do. I just think it's a hard pill for me to swallow. But I'd have to rather win. They could go down the route where Roddy has 0 points and it favours his heel turn eventually coming. That could work, but I don't know. I think he wins. Dorada wins, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Should be a great match, as you expect. Roddy Strong doing, his strong style backbreakers, flips and stuff against someone who can just reverse out of them, essentially. Flip out of them, land on his feet in the air off every time against Dorada. Oh my word, what a match. It's going to be incredible. This could possibly be the opener. And, yeah, going to be insane. Going to be so good. So our second Continental Classic match of the night is in the Gold League, where 5-way tie on 6 points between a lot of the people besides one. And that one is Jungle Jack Perry, who is going against Pac in this very match. Now, I think they'll have Pac win. I really would be surprised if they made it at one point a 6-way tie in the Gold League. That would be incredibly insane, but I'd love it if they did. I think the match would be great. Again, Jack Perry's a technical wrestler, is obviously undervalued, but Pac's Pac. Pac's ridiculous. But then part of me thinks, this one's really hard to call, because part of me thinks, would they really put Pac? I don't think Pac goes through. This could be a draw. I feel like this one is, from my just thinking, I feel like this isn't out the question to be a draw. I wouldn't like it if it's a draw. But you look at it with Pac, I don't think Pac gets 9 points. I just don't feel like that's the right way they're going to do things. I don't feel like they've set that up enough. But I wouldn't be against it. Pac's more than deserving. But yeah, I feel like this could be a draw. I feel like a draw's a good call. And yeah, I feel like Jack Perry winning could be a great call. But I feel like the draw is the more obvious call. Again, the match should be incredible. Every match on these two cards, even Collision's going to be incredible. I feel like I'm just going to repeat myself. This match could be really good, though. Pac versus Perry. I don't think we've had that before. So, Pac should control the match. Maybe Perry gets a roll-up. Whatever. But I feel like this could be a draw. But I think the draw's the better outcome. But Perry winning also on the cards completely. But Pac could win. I think this is the hardest match of the call. of the night. Definitely. Hardest match of the call. Easy. But, again, should be great. So, our final match is in a Continental Classic in the Blue League. We have Konosuke Takeshita, who's a joint leader on 7 points, versus Orange Cassidy. Cassidy's on 6, Takeshita's on 7. Now, I think it would be insane to have Takeshita lose this. I feel like this is it's Takeshita, right? Like, the guy's been my favourite to win the entire tournament. I feel like he's had just a stellar year, really. I feel like the guy's had probably the most complete tournament out of everyone in the Blue League. And realistically, Takeshita's got more riding on it. It's built more around Takeshita than it is Cassidy. Cassidy winning isn't a bad call, but I just don't feel like it's possible. I think Takeshita wins this, and again, nothing wrong with that at all. But Takeshita winning it, I feel like Takeshita should easily win this. I don't think this is a debatable call. I feel like this is a solid one, and the match should be great. I think we've had Takeshita versus Cassidy beforehand, but realistically, Takeshita should destroy him. As simple as. Cassidy will be a bit awkward, but Takeshita's aggressive, and just how built Takeshita is, yeah, Takeshita wins for me. And at that point, Takeshita would end up on 10 points, getting himself through to the semi-finals, which, again, this weekend at World's End, it can't come quick enough. So that's everything that's confirmed for Dynamite this week. A very stacked card, a really stacked card. What do I think? Will we get other things that happen? We know what's confirmed for Collision. I'll do that tomorrow, or pre-recorded tonight for tomorrow, whatever. But I think personally, with this match on this card and Dynamite, I don't think we'll get a lot of stuff that we haven't been confirmed. Maybe the odd backstage interview. I feel like stuff like that's very small, but will happen. Maybe, you'll get stuff out with Ricochet or Bandito, whoever wins the Dynamite Diamond Ring, stuff like that. But, the Continental Classic reactions and stuff. But I don't feel like we'll get a lot. We'll get something. I feel like we'll get something confirmed with Tony on World's End. That's a lock for me. Either tag match, singles match, whatever happens with the Mina and Marina match. That's 100% going to happen. Again, I say this every week. I do want something with the Elite, obviously. But besides that, who haven't we seen? I mean, the problem is with this week, a lot of it's the C2. It's the final week of the C2, essentially. And you got World's End to build, and a lot of World's End's card isn't, lackluster anyway. So you may be just getting pre-existing things. They're not going to I feel like they're not just going to throw a match on World's End with no build. Doesn't feel like they do that. I feel like this is maybe we get something with Jurassic Express having a match. That could be fun. But that's it. Not on a match on here, a match confirmed for World's End. Something like that, you know what I mean? But that's it, really. I don't think there's that much you can really do. But the card is insanely stacked for tonight. The C2 matches, again, those 3 matches, and how tight it is. We're looking at an all-time Dynamite for an incredible year for AEW Dynamite tonight. And I cannot wait. What's your opinions on the card for Dynamite tonight? Are you excited? What do you think happens in the C2? I think all 3 of these matches, while the Takeshita match for me isn't the hardest to call, that Pac and Perry match is ridiculously difficult to call, just considering the standings. And everything else just be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I would love to know what you think. And yeah, we'll be back either tonight to do the Collision video, or I'll just do a Collision video tomorrow. Who cares? And happy Christmas Eve. Yeah, but I say that. Happy Christmas Eve.